You know, the whole purpose of this channel was originally to outline the ideas that people hold as universal truths and just claim that they're truths. It steadily evolved into a channel and at the time, podcast, going over social justice, because they were also taking bits of truth, bits of factual information, and then rubbing shit all over it just to make it look the way they wanted it to. Well, found something interesting. A couple people have already covered it, so I'm going to cover it too, because it kind of outlines something that I've been complaining about online for ages now, and that is good old Washington Post. Trump said something, therefore it must not be true, and actually, it isn't true, but we're going to prove that it is true. Why not? See, that makes no sense to me. Why would you do that? That's a cell phone. That's a complete cell phone. It's like you hate the guy so much that you want to lie about what he said. You hope the headline will prove out, and I'm thinking they probably did this going, well, you know, here's another headline and another article, and we'll just post it. And people just read the headlines anyways, right? So we'll just roll with that. And let's see what happens. Let's roll with this. And we won't look like an idiot in the process. Surely not. Well, they definitely ended up looking like an idiot, because basically they posted this article with the idea in mind that they would prove Trump wrong, that actually he's false. Because what they do as spin doctors is they take a truth and they give you just part of it to demonstrate that their position, their opinion, their view on things is correct. They won't give you the whole picture. Otherwise, you know, you'd have to make up your own mind. Tell that you've been lied to. You know, it's just the way it is. So in this article, they claim that Trump was lying about all the worst places in America, the ones with the highest crime, the ones that are being taken over by retards pretending to be Soviet, socialist, communist, utopian dumbasses are democratically run. They're run by the Democratic Party. Not democratically run as in elections and whatnot. Although they are, but it's people here have voted in Democrats, therefore their city, town, whatever is absolute shit. And then they posted some graphs saying, well, see, actually, this is how it is. But if you divide it this way, this is how it is. And they did top crime per city. And top crime per city, all Democrats, but one. One is a Republican. Top crime per 100,000, so you do it per capita. It was all Democrats, but one independent. And the city shifted off a little bit based on per capita population sizes and whatnot. But the largest cities were all Democrat. Tim Pool did a little thing on this and showed that, well, here's some Republican cities, well, people run by Republican mayors and governors, and they're in the top 20 largest cities. They're not even making the list of high crime. Why is that? Well, the biggest thing to me is accountability, self-defense, geolocation has a lot to do with mentality, and a few other, personality things that enforce the idea that doing crime here is probably going to end up getting you killed. They pretty much said what it is. The deterrent to robbing someone's house is a shotgun. Not the cops. The cops will show up after the damage is done, assuming they can find and catch the guy that did it. But if you have no evidence of the person, you have no video, you have no footage, you have no camera, you have nothing, assuming they don't even steal the camera on top of it, because that's happened, then they get away with it. You don't know who robbed your house. They go to the neighbors. The neighbors didn't see anything. Like, if they were to do this in my neighborhood, none of the neighbors come out. So no one did notice crap. It's pretty embarrassing, actually, because the neighbors don't look out for you. I look out for them because I'm that kind of person. But anyways, I digress. They tried to prove Trump wrong by spinning a truth. The idea that you could take a universal truth, something that seems to correlate, and then spin it in such a way to make it a falsehood despite the evidence is amazing to me. I see religious people doing it all the time when they try to spin miracles. For example, this person got healthy again. This person recovered. All the COVID-19 recoveries, for example, are blessings from God. He decided to save these people. All the dead, obviously, didn't deserve to be saved, of course. Of course, you explore the worlds of medical, and you realize it's just normal in behavior. And one of the last things that's amazing to me is God sure doesn't like amputees, now does he? Well, in the case of democratically run states, look at the policies they push forth. These democratically run states think it's a really good idea to release people from prison because of COVID-19. That seems to me to be a very stupid idea. They would be better treated and isolated if they could stay in their own locations. Would they not? It's a smaller, more dense population because of stupid laws. Also, laws that Democrats have invented. All the ones that have the deepest levels of segregation at this point, because some dumbasses think it's good to bring that stuff back. Democratically run. Run by Democrats, I should start saying, because it's not democratically run. But here they are, trying to own Trump yet again. Just brilliantly self-owning themselves in the process. It was pretty pathetic. I'll have the link in the description for the grand Washington Post article that turned into a self-own. They do this a lot. That's the amazing thing that no one ever notices. The Washington Times, the New York Times, the Post, the New York Post, that is, all of them, CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, all of them own themselves. The problem with their industry at this point in time is they want to be first to the press to get the most views. In fact, if you think about it, their model is not so dissimilar from YouTube. Here I am posting something that other people have posted, trying to get those sweet views on the curtails of other people that have already said something about it. So why should I bother? I don't know. I got a little bit different spin on it. Not much. I'm just pointing out they've owned themselves again, really. But it's the same model. We're first to the press, first to the ground, first to make a video about something is the one that's going to get the most views. They're first to the press, repeat. In fact, if you read on a particular subject, usually, the easiest one's Trump. If you go and look one up, they will post the same article, slightly modified by the author, but it'll be the same subject, the same information, slightly different spin, slightly different view, slightly different opinion. All bashing the target, if you want to take it to one of those. But really, to give you an example, there was a guy, a cop, I think, that killed somebody. And all of them posted different views on the same thing. The only thing I got out of all of it is a person did a thing. That's it. I could care less about their speculation. I could care less about how they connect the dots, because a lot of them have been doing keyword drops, dropping in George Floyd, for example, so that they can get those ad revenue views off of somebody searching for George Floyd, and here comes a dozen articles about the subject. That's how they roll. They drop keywords in their articles. They do that so they can get ad revenue. The thing is, if we're ever to defeat these crazy sons of bitches on our particular platform, we need to hit back, because what they did years ago now, actually I think it is even before Trump, they took away ad revenue from YouTube, saying that there was alt-right, far-right adjacent terrorist scum all over our platform. Yet here they are posting defamatory and often racist views. Where are we as a conglomerate of independent creators? There's tons of us too. Where are we in contacting and writing nasties about their egregious behavior, and then turning it so that we can then in turn have their ad revenue removed and sent back to us? We're nowhere, because we're all independent. They have a corporate chain. They have the tools necessary to take that kind of a challenge up. But, alright, I digress. I'm kind of going off in the weeds here. But I thought it was funny. I thought it was funny that they can own themselves in their own article just to try and prove Trump wrong. And, you know, he is wrong on a few things. He's arrogant. He's dumb. He's kind of a dumbass. But it amazes me to this day that every major news outlet has nothing better to do than try to own Trump and prove him wrong on everything he says. In this case, they tried to do it and proved him right. How stupid can you be? Might as well say I want Trump 2020 because, well, that ad revenue, man. Oh, that ad revenue. It's sweet cash back into my pocket. I'll see you next time.
Buddha will come to you. It is destined he will call you, and sooner or later you will become enlightened. Buddha be praised.